This is step 1, how to set up triangle pose. Step your right foot back so that you're in a wide stance. Line up your toes to make sure that one foot is not in front of the other. Your feet should be just less than your arm span apart. If they're more than that, it's hard to feel in control, plus you might slide or fall. And if they're less, you might not feel the low back stretch, which is a main part of this pose. So our toes are forward, our feet are lined up and just less than our arm span apart. Turn your right foot out about 90 degrees towards your side wall. This turns your entire right leg outward. Turn your left foot in about 45 degrees. You don't need to measure it. It does not need to be perfect. It's just a slight little tuck. And then push the outside of your left foot down. This helps to balance you the entire time. In triangle pose, both of your legs should be straight the whole time. Neither knee should bend. If they do, just think of your posture checks. Try to lift up. Find your right hip and slide it over to the left. Pretend like somebody's asking you, "Hey, where's the left wall?" Point to it with your hip. So slide it over. There's the left wall. It's over there. Hold the next one, and it should look and feel like you have a bad attitude problem. Take your left hand to your hip and pull it back. It's just a little pull back, and pull it back towards the wall behind you. This helps to keep both of your hips nice and neutral the entire time. Take your right arm and reach for the wall like you really need it. Take your right hand to your shin or your thigh. Just avoid your knee because you could easily hurt it. Tighten your belly and lift up your chest. Raise your left arm all the way up to the sky. Try to look at your left hand. This is step 2, how to modify triangle pose. If you have any knee or ankle pain while you're in triangle pose, don't just stay in it. Instead, come back up, shorten your stance to where it doesn't hurt, and then come back into the pose. If either of your knees start to bend, it's easier to fix this while you're standing straight up. So go ahead and come up, and then slide your hips over. This helps to straighten your legs. Then return back to the pose. If you notice your arm is starting to wander, take your top hand to your shoulder and gently pull it back. This brings your arm back into place. If you have any shoulder pain, you should have your arm where it doesn't hurt. So maybe that's at your waist or at your side, even behind your back. Do whatever works for you. These are signs that you might be slouching. Your shoulder at top, it's turned in and towards the ground. You want to pull that shoulder back towards the wall behind you. You can see your belly easily. Pull it in. Your back hip is turned in. This causes your entire back to round, so you're slouching. For this one, it's easiest to stand all the way back up to fix. So come back up and then shake it out a little bit so your hips relax. When you're ready, go through all of the steps. Make sure your legs are straight. Slide your hips all the way over. And slowly make your way back into triangle pose. Blocks can help you deepen your stretch, so to use a block, place it on the outside of your right foot. The tall side is the easiest to start with. Slowly set up the pose and go through all of the steps. Instead of reaching for your shin or your thigh, place your hand on the block. Once you feel sturdy, lift your left arm up. Try to work the pose. This just means to breathe slowly. When you breathe slowly, your breath puts you deeper into any pose. On the other hand, little breaths won't get you anywhere. It's a boredom trap, and it might end up making you slouch. So just try to take deep breaths. This is step 3, triangle practice video. Step your right foot back so that you're in a wide stance. Your feet should be just less than your arm span apart. Line up your toes so that one foot isn't in front of the other. If you're using blocks, place them behind your feet. Turn your right foot out about 90 degrees towards your side wall. Tuck in your left foot about 45 degrees, just a little. Both of your legs should stay straight the whole time during triangle pose. Find your right hip and slide it over towards the left wall. Where's the wall? There it is. Slide it. Give it some attitude. Left hand pulls back your left hip. Take your right arm and reach for the wall. When you feel the low back stretch, place your right hand on your thigh, your shin, or if you're using a block. Just remember to stay away from your knee. Once you're ready, tighten your belly and lift your chest. As you inhale, take your left arm into the air. Exhale and pull your belly in towards your spine. Inhale and lift your chest. Exhale, belly tight. Try to look up towards your left hand. 2 more deep breaths. Bring your left hand back to your hip and bend your right knee. Slowly come back up to standing. We'll go right into the left side, so make sure that your toes are still lined up. Turn your left foot out about 90 degrees. Your right foot should be slightly tucked in, about 45 degrees. Both of your legs should stay straight the entire time. Find your left hip. Slide it over towards the right wall. Give it a few practices before you hold the attitude. Right hand pulls back your hip. Reach your left hand for the wall. Continue to reach until you feel that low back stretch. Bring your left hand to your thigh, your shin, or your block. Tighten your belly and lift your chest. As you inhale, lift your right arm all the way up to the sky. Exhale and tighten your belly. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, belly tightens. If you're using a block, you can always lower the level for a deeper stretch. 2 more deep breaths. Bring your right hand back to your hip. Bend your left knee and slowly come back up to standing.